Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We're going to go back to Lancs Live. I just want to finish the key events in the Jay Slater hearing at the coroner's court, in how he died, and other statements. 3:13, Brandon Hodgson's statement to Spanish police. We're now hearing the statement of Brandon, who gave Spanish police via video call following Jay's disappearance. Brandon told police that Jay called him when he was trying to walk home after leaving the Airbnb. Jay didn't seem frightened and was laughing and joking. Brandon added that he thought Jay was out of his mind. So obviously, what they've done, which I think one of the main things they've done, is that they've played it down that Jay basically thought it was basically all a joke and was acting up, and he was responsible for technically his own demise. 3:25 yesterday, attempts to locate Stephen Ruckas to get him to give evidence. The coroner's office is now explaining her attempts to locate remaining outstanding witness Stephen Ruckas. The coroner's office spoke to Stephen Ruckas on the 17th of April last year ahead of the initial inquest hearing. She explained she needed a statement from him and arranged to send him an email. After that point, Stephen Ruckas has not responded to any attempts to contact him. These include several visits by the Met police officers to 2 addresses in London where he had been registered, sending police officers to a business address, searching the police national computer, searching voting records. Nowhere to be seen. Stephen Ruckas. As a part, this is 3:27 yesterday, Magistrates Court appearance clue to find Rocky. As a part of her efforts to locate Stephen Ruckas, the coroner's office officer discovered that he had appeared at East London Magistrate Court on April 3rd. He was due to sign on at the Stratford police station April 27, but had failed to do so. Efforts to locate Mr. Ruckas have since the date of the first inquest hearing on May the 21st been led by Lancashire Constabulary. Interesting to why you had to sign on at the police station, but that's another story. Evidence coming to an end. This was yesterday, obviously, just before 4 o'clock, inquest near conclusion. Next, we'll be hearing from digital analyst Nick Spencer from Lancashire Police. Initially, this evidence was said to be connected to how phone calls impact on battery life, but just before to break, we heard he will be talking about the forces attempt to locate Stephen Ruckas. After Detective Sergeant Spencer had given his evidence, that will conclude all the witnesses we are due to hear from. The coroner, James Adderley, has indicated that he will give his summing up tomorrow, Friday, and then his conclusion, which he says will be short form conclusion. Interesting. It's like he's already made his mind up there, isn't it? Final video filming by Jay Slater shown to court. We are now being played a video of Jay filmed on his phone at 7:21 a.m. on Monday the 17th, the morning of his disappearance. This shows the red-orange flowery blanket which Ayub Qasim had given to Jay so he could go to sleep. In the video, Jay can be seen holding a cigarette and then filming briefly outside the Airbnb, but I bet we don't see his face. And this is by Amy Fenton, people. We don't see his face. Spanish report reveals when Jay was reported missing. A report from Spanish authorities revealed that Jay was reported missing at 9 a.m. on Monday the 17th. Mountain rescue teams were made aware of the disappearance at 8 p.m. that night. They said that the information they were given was that when looking for the bus stop, he had to fall and was afraid of dying, and his phone had no battery. A story they've always stuck with people, to be honest with you. And like I said, that final video filmed by Jay Slater, I don't think Jay was actually recording that himself. I really don't. Mountain rescue team explained dangers of ravine 4:08 p.m. yesterday. The mountain rescue group said Jay's lack of experience in mountain regions, recklessness, lack of fitness or self-control, and lack of equipment will have played a part in his death. The weather and loose falls rocks could also have been involved. The mountain rescue teams could not explain why he chose to go down into the ravine. Jay was unfamiliar with the area, and the directions he was headed in could have given the impressions there was a settlement. The ravine features sheer high cliffs and dense undergrowth. Interesting. We know Jay never done that walk. Never done that walk in a million years. And we've always said that since day one. Jay's faculties greatly reduced, 4:10. As he had been on the move since the previous day with no rest, his faculties will have been greatly reduced. The area is very rough and unstable with a steep slope, and it would be easy to slip on the rocks and fall into the void. The conclusion was that, in the opinion, the death must have occurred as an accident fall. But like I said, there's no proof of that at all, and where his body was found. The fact that the bag was 15 to 20 meters above him indicates he was walking at this location when he fell. The post-mortem findings were compatible with a fall from height. The only other plausible explanation is that he thought there was a beach or settlement at the end of the ravine where he could have sought help. So why didn't he turn back? Wouldn't that be the easiest thing to do? Or phone his parents? And the reason for that is that he never had his phone. Evidence now from DS Nick Spencer, 411. Jay's parents are both wearing blue hearted shaped pin badges with a J in the middle. We are now hearing from DS Nick Spencer from Lancashire Constabulary. He's in charge of the Digital Investigation Unit. Attempts to track Rocky. 417 people. DS Spencer unit is involved in tracking people through social media. The unit was asked for help in tracing Stephen Rockas. Great Manchester Police and Lancashire Police visited a flat in Manchester. The water bill for the property is in Stephen Rockas' name. His mobile phone also regularly self-sighted in the Manchester area. There was no answer. Hiding out. I wonder why. 420 people. 420 yesterday, 419 should I say yesterday, where and when Jay's phone pinged in Tenerife. The court is now hearing about the various locations where Jay's phone pinged while in Tenerife. This includes an extremely lengthy and complex colour-coded spreadsheet compiled by Lancashire Police, which shows who Jay spoke to or sent messages to, which apps he used, and the mobile phone towers his phone connected to at the relevant time. The spreadsheet shows that at 8:27 p.m. on the morning Jay's disappeared, his phone had just 3% battery. I thought it was 1%. He made an outgoing Snapchat call to Lucy Law, which lasted only 3 seconds. There was then another call to Lucy, which lasted 22 seconds. The record that indicated his battery was at 1%. Okay, so these phone calls didn't last long. She made out that basically these phone calls were a little bit longer than that, which is kind of odd. You know, there's so many holes in this case. It's just unbelievable. It really is. But like I said, you know, it's not the problem we've got now, because basically it's come to an end as an accident at the end of the day. It's just, it's hard for us to go back through everything again, because like I said, if the family are happy with what they've heard, then we've got to go with that, even though we ain't. Jay's last ping at 8:43 a.m. as coroners issued data warning. The last ping when Jay's mobile phone logged a data session was 8:43 a.m. The coroner has just issued a very stern warning. The spreadsheet, which was shown on the screen, included phone numbers for some individuals. The coroner says, "You are not to copy or publish or circulate any of the telephone numbers that are on there. If I find that anybody has, it will be contempt of court and will be treated this extraordinarily seriously. I have the same powers as a High Court judge, and I would be wary about doing that." Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. It also makes you think what they're hiding there as well. 4:30. Inquest comes to an end for today. Don't forget, this was yesterday, people. DS Spencer has shown the location of the mobile phone cell tower which Jay's phone last connected to, but it doesn't mean Jay was there. He has now explained that a mobile phone won't necessarily always connect to the closest mast. He gives an example: I've walked along the white cliffs of Dover and down on the beach, and my phone connected to a cell in France. The inquest is now ended for the day. The coroner will deliver his summing up tomorrow morning with proceedings starting at 8 a.m. Thank you for following our coverage. And that was the Lancashire Live. Brilliant report there, to be honest with you. And like I said, I will do a part 2, the sum up today. I know what the outcome is, people. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment. Let me know what your thoughts at the end of the day. But I think a lot of this, especially basically what people are saying, is not a good thing, to be honest with you. I think it's been scripted. I do think Brad was talking to Ayub. I think Lucy was threatened probably not to attend. And I think there was a lot going on, people. I really, really do think there was a lot going on in this case. And I do believe it's basically, it is, how can I say, damning, disappointing, to be honest with you. But like I said, you know, we'll probably hear from family, and they will basically will have to go with what they say in their verdict, that they're happy with the verdict, that it was an accident, and that basically they don't want this to go any further or talked about. That could be possible, but we'll have to wait. I'm sure there'll be a statement from their barrister in what they want to do next. That was all of yesterday's People from Lancashire Live. You can look at it yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and let me know your thoughts on it. But I think a lot of it, what basically the witnesses says, was absolutely scripted and just put together. As long as they gang together, they get a chance of getting away with it. Thank you.